Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our channel. I'll be reading two short stories for you today. The first one is called Elijah and the Ravens. After the death of King Solomon, Israel became a divided nation, and the fighting between the tribes was fierce. The people had forsaken God and forgotten all about his covenant with them. The years passed. The rulers of northern kingdom were wicked King Ahab and his cruel wife Jezebel of Sodom. Ahab built a temple for Baal, the god Jezebel worshipped, and the queen had many prophets of God killed. But one prophet named Elijah survived. He warned the king, for more than 2 years there will be neither rain nor dew in this land. You will learn that my God is the one true God. And it happened as he said. Elijah was no longer safe in Israel. God sent him east to the river Jordan, to a hiding place in the Kerith ravine. There, every morning and every evening, ravens brought him bread and meat, and he drank from a brook. But the drought continued, and at last even the brook dried up. Then God told Elijah to go to Sidon, where a widow would help him. Elijah left the ravine behind and set off once again. Isn't that interesting that God sent the birds to Elijah to give him something to eat? Bread and meat. The second story, the widow and the prophet. There was a terrible drought all across the land. God sent his prophet Elijah to Sidon. When Elijah reached the city gates, he met a woman gathering firewood and asked her for a drink of water. The kind widow went to get him some, even though water was scarce. As she was going, Elijah asked for some bread too. I'm afraid I have no bread, she replied. I have only a handful of flour and a little olive oil in a jug. I'm gathering a few sticks to take home and to make one last meal for myself and my son. Elijah told the widow not to worry, but to go home and make a small loaf of bread for him. Then she was to make one for herself and her son, for God had promised that the flour and oil would not run out until the day the rain fell on the land. The kind widow did as Elijah had asked. When she had made one loaf, she still had enough flour and oil to make another. And so it went on, day after day. There were always enough food for Elijah and for the widow and her young son. Wasn't that interesting? If you do what God asks of you to do, he will make sure you have enough. Y'all be blessed.